This story hits quite hard because it's one of the most tragic, misunderstood arcs in Hollywood. What happened to Jennifer Hudson, from global stardom to unthinkable tragedy and back again? In 2008, Jennifer Hudson was living the kind of story people just dream about. She'd gone from being rejected on national television to winning an Academy Award, an Oscar, before her first album had even been released. Hollywood had crowned her, the music industry had embraced, and the world watched as Jennifer Hudson became one of the most powerful voices of her generation. And then everything just stopped. Not because of a scandal or because of a career collapse, but because of a tragedy so devastating, so personal, that it froze her entire life and career overnight. This is not a story of a fall from grace, it's a story of survival. This is what happened to Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Kate Hudson was born on September the 12th, 1981 in Chicago, Illinois. She grew up on the South Side, raised by a strong church-going mother, Darnell Donaldson. Music wasn't a hobby in her house, it was a life. Jennifer started singing in church at just 7 years old. The gospel choir wasn't just where she learned to sing, it's where she learned how to feel music. And that would become her secret weapon. But growing up, Jennifer didn't chase fame, she chased stability. She worked at Burger King while singing gigs on the side. Her dream felt distant until one show changed everything. In 2004, Jennifer Hudson auditioned for American Idol. She was powerful, different, unforgettable. But the judges just weren't convinced. Week after week, Jennifer delivered vocals that should have carried her to the finale. Yet she was criticised for song choices, styling, and even her personality. And then, shockingly, she was eliminated in 7th place. 7th. Viewers were furious. Elton John later called her elimination racist. Fans called it one of the biggest TV mistakes in history. At the time though, Jennifer Hudson walked off that stage humiliated. She returned to Chicago with no record deal, no plan, and the entire world having watched her fail. Or so it seemed. Because 2 years later, Jennifer auditioned for a movie adaptation of a Broadway musical called Dreamgirls. She was no longer famous, she wasn't the favourite, and she was competing against Beyonce. And yet, when Jennifer opened her mouth, the room fell silent. Her performance was raw, broken, explosive. When the film released in 2006, Jennifer Hudson didn't just steal the show, she defined it. Her performance earned her an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, a BAFTA, a Screen Actors Guild Award. She became the youngest black woman to win Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars, from 7th place on American Idol to Oscar winner. Overnight, Jennifer Hudson had become unstoppable. In 2008, Jennifer released her debut album. It went platinum, it won a Grammy, and produced some massive hits. She sang at political events, movie premieres, and award shows. She wasn't just famous, she was respected. And then on October the 24th, 2008, everything was shattered. While filming, she received the call that her mother, Darnell, had been found shot dead in her Chicago home, along with her brother Jason. The suspect was the estranged husband of her sister, and 3 days later, further tragedy struck when Jennifer's 7-year-old nephew Julian was found murdered. 3 members of her entire family had gone. The world watched in silence as Jennifer Hudson disappeared completely. She cancelled all appearances, all work, and all public life. There were no interviews, there were no statements, just private grief. Later, the man responsible would be convicted and sentenced to life in prison. But for Jennifer Hudson, there was no sentence that could undo what had happened to her family. For months, people asked the same question: where is she? But the truth was simple. She was simply trying to survive. She later admitted that she couldn't listen to music, she couldn't sing, she couldn't even enter her family home. When she finally returned to the public eye, it wasn't with an album, it was at her nephew's funeral. And then, something extraordinary happened. Jennifer Hudson returned to sing at the Super Bowl. She sang the national anthem, Her voice cracked, her eyes filled with tears, and yet she finished. The performance wasn't about the music, it was about the survival. And from that moment on, her career took a different shape. She became selective, intentional, and purpose-driven. She founded the Hudson King Foundation to help families affected by violence. She chose roles that mattered, and she sang again. Not because the pain was gone, but because she had learned how to carry it. It was a quiet, strong comeback. She never chased fame again, but she built something stronger. She won a Tony Award, completing the rare EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. She became a mother, a mentor, a symbol of resilience. Jennifer Hudson didn't vanish. She endured something unimaginable and kept going. And that is the real story. It's not what happened to Jennifer Hudson, what she survived. Fame didn't break her, rejection didn't stop her, and tragedy didn't silence her. Jennifer Hudson is proof that sometimes the strongest voices are forged in the darkest of moments. And maybe that's why we still listen.